Well, I don't have a hand big enough or a palm big enough, so I'm just going to use both of my palms at the same time. What's happening, film friends? David the Film Junkie here. All right, if the bias out there for Zack Snyder, wow, this was posted exactly at 12 a.m. on August 11th. That's weird. Anyways, I just noticed that right now. Squirrel! Now, if it wasn't enough that Zack Snyder was getting hounded for being, sexist and everything, even though he had an entire original movie about strong female characters and everything, and then, of course, brought on Wonder Woman and everything. Now, and this is what's getting annoying, because now, pre 2012, and I've been saying this for the longest time, I'm telling you, the Mayans had something right, because this PC outrage culture that has come about really started kicking in the gear at the end of 2012, early 2013. So now, when it comes to current people and to try to slam them or get something on them, we are going back prior to 2012 to be like, oh, wow, look what you did here. And now we have AV Club writing a very awesome, very fucking exquisite article saying Zack Snyder's 300 presaged the howling fascism of the alt-right. Yeah, that's right. Fascism and alt-right coming from 300. So basically, what's going on here? I mean, this is part of a little group of articles for the History of Violence. With the History of Violence, Tom Brehan, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, picks the most important action movie of the year, starting with the genre's birth and moving right up to whatever Vin Diesel's doing at this very moment. So 2007, he is now going after Zack Snyder's 300 for howling fascism of the alt-right. This is alt-right! Is that what he's thinking that Leonidas is pretty much saying in this movie? Okay, so it starts off, and what's funny? The first paragraph is absolute bullshit right here. It says in quotes, "Was that racist, or did it just seem racist? That was the basic idea of the conversation that my friends and I had as we left the movie theater in spring of 2007. Bullshit! It's funny when you write stuff that did not happen, because I am sure as shit that you and your friends walking out of the movie theater were not thinking of that idea. Come on. Is your white guilt that heavy on your back that you were just like, oh my God, should I be okay with that? Was that racist? Impeccable bullshit right there. You were probably walking out jazzed going, man, that was fucking awesome. And that one part where he just he took off his helmet and then he had his spear and he chucked it, at exercises. Oh man, that's what you were doing. You were not saying that. Shut up. And this is what I can't stand. This is what's getting really annoying about a lot of this shit. This PC culture is coming about. Going after people for shit that happened a decade ago. Because a decade ago, we didn't care about this PC shit. We didn't think everything was racist and everything was sexist. We didn't think that back then. For some reason, like I said, after 2012, we're all thinking about that now. Or at least, a majority, people in the media are always thinking that. And it goes on to talk about, and I will commend it for this. It does talk about 300 being a beautifully shot movie, and for overall it gives a lot of good things about the movie, because a lot of people tend to just read the headline. They don't actually delve into the actual material. But I did, of course. I read it a few times actually, and I like the second paragraph. Starts off with Snyder famously did whatever he could to make the movie echo the source material. What are you talking about? Snyder following the source material? That's bullshit. Yes, of course he does, even with the new movies. That's right, guys. A 1998 comic from Frank Miller, as closely as possible. Individual shots are precise recreations of comic book panels. So I will give the writer, Mr. Tom, I'll commend him for that. Grotesque, distended character sketches are rendered in loving detail. Snyder shot the whole thing on a green screen set because real, actual mountains and cliffs wouldn't jut and loom the way they've done in the books. Yeah, so he's commending him for that. But then when it starts really, really getting into the heart of everything, it's like, do you realize that this is fantasy? Now, yeah, the 300 Spartan warriors thing, okay, yeah, that's supposed to be a historic tale. Okay, I understand that. And, the way that the Spartan life was, he mentions in here, not exactly the best way to live life. But this is way back then, okay? This is not now. And see, that's what I love. It's like you're trying to take something and you're like, oh yeah, he's glorifying this, glorifying that, because it even says right here, 300 opens on a scene that literally glorifies fascism. The first thing we see is a chasm full of, or a chasm, whatever the fuck, I don't know how to read, full of baby skulls, the remains of the infants who were deemed unfit. Leonidas has no visible disabilities, so he gets to live. Then, as a kid, he's indoctrinated into the warrior society, taught to fight or die, then sent off to survive his own. He goes into the snow and kills an enormous CGI wolf. Did you have to say it was CGI? You're explaining the story, okay? And if you're explaining the story, you don't have to say which things are CGI or not, okay? You're fucking dumb. A real trained wolf, apparently, would not have looked badass enough. See, that's the thing. He's going after Snyder right here using... Are you kidding me? Do you remember that wolf in that scene? To make it look evil, and you're going to have a trained wolf. Yeah, I don't think that they had that. I don't think that was going to be the case, you idiot. So basically what he's saying right here is like they're showing like the true glorified fascism, which it's not glorified. I love it how he's trying to pin that Zack Snyder is trying to glorify like these ideologies that he has in his movies. Look at the movies now. Look at Man of Steel. Look at Batman vs. Superman in particular, because we had half people hating Superman, half people not. He was showing it on a political side. What would actually happen if a Superman were to show up in this world? Of course, there'd be like some discourse. There'd be some people that did not like it. And then we had Bruce Wayne, who said if there was even a 1% chance that he was going to be evil, that we had to take it with an absolute certainty and we had to stop him, okay? And that just shows right there of his fear, okay? A lot of people, and this just comes to everybody, fear what they don't understand. So Snyder's movies really delve into that. But he also, he doesn't glorify it. The fact that he's saying it's glorified, no. He's just going by the fucking source material, okay? And the way that things maybe possibly were. Why are you making it seem like he's glorifying fascism? Are you fucking kidding me? And then, of course, with the recent events that happened in Virginia over the weekend was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And if you're trying to put, this is, totally fueling neo-Nazism and fascism, you're absolutely stupid. It's not like those guys that showed up at that rally were like, dude, we gotta watch 300 and drink some fucking Red Bull before we do this. Hell yeah! That's not what happened, okay? Jesus Christ, those are fucking idiots. Okay, and not to mention... They're not Spartan warriors, by the way. A lot of them were just a fucking balding, out-of-shape white dudes holding torches. I'm sorry, but I'm not afraid of those guys. And even though he kind of talks about how beautiful the movie was and stuff like that, he talks about, oh yeah, these guys, the Spartans are near-naked fitness models wearing briefs and capes, and only Elias has a helmet. I could have swore they all had a helmet. But then, he talks about the real guys had the actual armor, stuff like that. Again, this is a fantasy version of the story. This is not the actual version. How the fuck? This is what I don't understand. Why are you trying to make it seem like this was a biopic of the 300 Spartan warriors? It's not. Frank Miller, which they actually chastise him a little bit because Frank Miller has different political ideas to this writer right here. So, of course, he doesn't agree. So he's going to look at him like, oh, yeah, Miller's a madman. He's just like one of those that thinks dark and he just talks crazy. Fuck you! This is what I'm tired of. Oh, yeah, you differ from my opinion, so I'm going to totally just throw you under the bus and chastise you. Fuck that, man. That's dumb. And then you're going to chastise Snyder for making this beautiful movie that a lot of people love. All because he was trying to follow the source material. And this is what I get tired of seeing. It's really dumb. And then he talks about, the Persian side, on the other hand, looks a lot more fun. The orgy pit, which we're apparently supposed to see as some sort of appalling gender-fluid hell, looks like more pleasant place than anywhere in Sparta. Fucking shit. Apparently Tom, likes a little bit of the both. Okay, he likes the twig and berries as well as the vagine, apparently. Hey, I don't care about what your sexual preference is or anything like that, but some people don't think like you. That's the problem, Tom, is you have this thing where people don't think like you, so you're going to be like, oh, fuck you, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're just a piece of shit. You, for some reason, you want the gender fluid orgy, apparently. That's fine. Some people would rather be, tough, and yeah, I know when it's a bunch of brooding, tough white guys, everybody starts shitting a brick like that's the most evilest thing in the world or something like that, and it's just... Again, this is just a fantasy take on the 300 movie, and you're totally throwing... Oh, God, this is terrible. And, of course, it's a bunch of white dudes against a bunch, people of, the villains. A lot of them are of color and everything like that. So, of course, that's bad. But like I said, a decade ago, nobody really gave a shit about this, okay? And now that it's 2017 and we're in this outrage culture, we have to start digging stuff up from the past just to like brand that person a bigot or a neo-Nazi or something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous, and you're a piece of shit for doing this, especially what's happened with Zack Snyder in recent, with the tragedy that he had to endure at the beginning of the year. Who cares though, right? Because you got to get clicks and you got to make your point. And guess what? I think that this movie, the movie that me and my friends were talking about, is racist when we were walking out of the movie theater. Oh, I gotta mention this now. And I gotta verse you signal and be like, oh, that's right, guys. Especially after the stuff that happened this week, and I'm sure you're totally just riding this high horse. You asshole. You're an asshole. It's simply that. And that's what I got. That's all I gotta say. I've been talking enough. You know, it's dumb. It's really stupid that that this person's doing that. Just ignore it, guys. You know, they're always going to, for some reason, now the bias is going into earlier films. And I'm sure there's going to be other articles. There's going to be other pieces of shit. They're going to say like, oh yeah, look what he did in Sucker Punch, man. He had the fucking guys like hitting the girls and stuff like that. There's going to be all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, why did Batman and Superman have more dialogue than Wonder Woman? Why was she barely? Yeah, it's going to be stuff like that. But we got to defend it, and I will defend it as much as I can. That's right. I am Jurassic Park Man. Yeah, I just figured because I was doing that, and I have this on my chest. Anyways, guys, sorry I rambled on for too long, but let me know your thoughts about it down below. How dumb do you think this is? It's really stupid. I mean, to dig up something from a decade ago, to start like chastising that and trying to like put it into the political spectrum now. And I'm just going, you know what? Snyder's not like that. He's always diverse. He's had movies where he had female empowerment, and you know, he has political, like there's a lot of his stories that have a lot of politics within them. Like I said, Batman vs Superman is just screaming that. But, you know, he doesn't celebrate. He doesn't glorify any of those ideologies, okay? So relax, okay? Stop trying to pin this on him, okay? I'm sure if he was like a different color, you wouldn't even be doing it. But the fact that he's a white male, you're going to do this. I understand that. That's exactly what's going on. So let me know your thoughts about it down below, guys. And please hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the other channel, too. Follow me on the social media stuff that is above my head. Shirts in the store, too. All right. Talk to you later.